and this is the message to the pickup boys, or the game guys, or the little boys still learning about how to do this. And I say this, I guess that might have sounded pejorative, but I've been there, of course. It would have been, you could have gotten girls by being your nerdy self. You could have gotten girls by being your fat self. You could have gotten girls by being, well, fat is actually, it's good for you to lose fat, actually, so that's a bad example. You could have gotten girls by being your shy self. You could have gotten girls by being whatever the fuck you were ashamed of and thought you couldn't have gotten girls by being. You could have gotten that happiness that way. We could have, you could have learned fashion. That's not like generally a false self issue. You could have dressed better. You could have become more fit, and that's a good thing. This is just good health. You could have gotten more energy. And you could have stayed with your persona, your personality, well, at least the one that you came with. They can all be attractive. Can they be attractive to the club chicks? Well, what I'm saying is a lot of these club chicks are predators. Would you like to be attractive to a predator? In that case, just be a needy guy who has a lot of narcissistic things about him. Then you're a good victim and she'll take you. It's like a vampire will take a nice big human with lots of blood to give. And that'll be you. But could Mark Zuckerberg be attractive without having to learn game? Could Bill Gates? Would you want to change Bill Gates, even though he talks kind of nerdy? I wouldn't want to change any of these guys. I would, and those are easy examples because I know you guys look up to people like this. Elon Musk, for instance, is geeky as fuck. But you can see he wants to be, I mean, if he had the time and the inclination, he could learn to pick up chicks. And you're thinking, they're all rich, they don't need to. Okay, guess what? What about Mark? What about any of these guys before they became rich, when they were teenagers? Elon being bullied. I'm sure they were all bullied to some extent. All these, computer nerds were. Taking that guy as a 14-year-old. And so I get dads. Now I've been working in the field so long that the guys I used to work with are now dads and telling me, I'm so proud of the things I've done here because now I can teach my kid how to text this girl. Because his son is 14 now. And I said, well, luckily I'm still in the field so I can share things like this. And I said, what did you tell him to text? And he's like, well, this thing. He was going to text. But that is like actually going to be revealing. So instead, I'll text this thing. It's fun. It's cheeky. Basically, it's a very superficial text that's just fun Playboy guy, right? So I'm like, yeah, that'll work. But what you're teaching him is his true self is not attractive. His true self is not sexually attractive. That's what we all learned. Instead of making the nerdy boy more confident, instead of making the fat boy more confident, instead of making the short guy more confident, instead of making whatever insecurity that you happen to have and making you more confident, more proud of yourself, and not being ashamed of any part of you, not being ashamed, no shame, just putting it out there. Instead, thinking you have to change yourself, change your thoughts, change your beliefs, change your words, change your look, change everything. Instead of doing that because you think it will get girls, not because you want to get that, even if it doesn't get you girls. Because there are a lot of things that you should learn. Lose fat, gain muscle, those are all nice things to have. Reduce your resting heart rate, those are all great things. But if you're doing that to get girls, because you heard that girls like that and now you're going to do it, well then what you're doing is you're going down the path of a narcissistic false self that you're putting on. So just make that clear, right? They're switching faulty coping strategies.